G'day, it's Ryan the Lion from A Few Quiet Yarns, and today I'm sitting with Sarah Bowden here in the Microsoft office. We've got AI for Good with the whale behind us, keeping us company. And of course, this is all about meeting the person, not the suit. So let's kick off with Sarah. If you could introduce yourself, and if we could hear about the person, and we'll talk about the business later.
Sure, so thanks so much, Ryan. Really happy to be here today. So yes, I'm Sarah Bowden. I am English, as you can tell from my lovely accent. I've been in New Zealand for 22 years now. Came here for a year of backpacking when I was 22, so you can kind of guess of how old I am now.
And still 19.
Still 19, yes. And yeah, we've got married my childhood sweetheart, Chris Bowden, and we've been together 26 years now. And we have 3 lovely children, Charlie who's 14, Charlotte who's 13, and Georgie who's nearly 12. So busy family life. In my spare time, I love to horse ride. I also love a bit of skiing. I've been doing the Great Walks of New Zealand, so I've got a few more of those to do. And I really love travelling. I think being in New Zealand really highlights how far away we are from everywhere. So any opportunity to travel, I'm there.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. So they're just hitting the teenage years, and are they horse riders, football players, ballerinas? What's
all of the above. I think most weekends and most weekdays actually, it's the phone call, Mum, come and pick me up. I'm terrible at kind of figuring out what they're doing. But yeah, so football, skiing, tennis, piano, dance, contemporary, tap, hip hop, hockey, swimming, and they do something called like a speechcraft thing as well, which is kind of like performing arts, drama. They're in plays. Seriously, I have no life outside work.
Cool. So let's get on to question 2. What's keeping you busy? Now, if I can preface this with I'll say just taken on a new role, which is probably a couple of months, maybe even
4 months now.
4? I was going to say 6. It's taken 5 stabs to get this meeting landed because of how busy you've been. So there we go. Hand over to you. What's keeping you busy?
Well, I like that question that you asked, because I think everyone says, hey, I'm so busy right now, and it's such a buzzword. How are you? I'm busy. And so for me, it's not about just being busy, it's probably being more impactful. What am I doing with my time that's actually having impact, and whether that's impact to our partners or our customers or my team. And so yeah, so it has been phenomenally crazy over the last few weeks, and we've come back from Inspire, so we had 152 partners join us, which was phenomenal. So really excited about hosting those partners out there. Biggest contingent that we've ever taken out, so it was really great fun, lots of learnings, lots of seminars, lots of networking. So just seeing the partner ecosystem come together was phenomenal. And luckily we dodged a bullet, because last week, and I think this week, Vegas has been infested with grasshoppers, so we were so lucky to miss all of that.
I was waiting to hear what that was going to be, being Vegas, like what could it be infested with?
Yeah, wine, all of that as well. But and then the other things that we've got on, we had Monday and Tuesday this week, we had 20 of our co-sell partners. Yes. So this is where we're basically helping accelerate our partners' revenue, business opportunities by connecting them with our account team, so that we can literally sell our partner solutions. So that was been super exciting. We had all of these rooms with partners in there with our sales team speed dating them, and it was really great to see the momentum and the energy and the opportunities bouncing out of that. And next week we're taking, my team are taking up 16 of our customers to Seattle to go to our executive briefing center visit. So that's always really exciting. Customers that have never been there get to meet with our product engineering teams, learn about what the future looks like for them, and also the networking opportunity. And I'm off to Singapore tomorrow morning, so it is crazy. Lots on.
That is. And so from now on, I'm going to change the question of what's keeping you busy to what impact are you making? So we can forever now, that's as a result of Sarah Bowden.
And you heard it here, folks.
It's really important. It's an old networking question. So instead of saying what you do, by saying what's keeping you busy, you can get any answer. And usually it's a non-work one, but I use it as the sort of lead into work. So yes, what impact are you making And that's very AFQY, so I do really like it.
Good. You can take that.
Yeah. You can send me the invoice, I'll send you the check.
All good.
Okay, so on to the third question. Your AFQY experience, and I always joke, and it's no joke, what's your honest appraisal? Because I've had some really good feedback that's made changes, and it's not about just saying the polite thing, because I'm sitting right beside you.
Yeah, so I think when we first caught up, probably about a year, 2 years ago, and I heard about a few quiet yarns, I was like, what does that mean? And for me, I thought it was quite blokey, actually, because I think coming from the UK, and we've had this conversation, like having a few quiet ones means hopping off to the pub before you go home and having a few quiet ones. So I kind of put that together, really thinking that's what it was about. And then obviously I came along, and for me it was a great opportunity to meet with a whole bunch of people, a lot of which I didn't know those people, but there were a few people I hadn't seen for a while. You know, they'd gone into different roles and different businesses, so reconnecting with them was lovely. I think also it gives you the opportunity to network with people and not feel like you're going, hi, bye, moving on, and feeling like it's something that you're being rude at. You're actually encouraged to do that. So by the end of the evening, you've actually met a whole load of people that you never met before. It's a great environment, a great ecosystem that you've built to make it a safe zone for people to find out more about each other and figure out how they can network, learn from each other, and ultimately help each other with their businesses.
That's really cool, thank you. And it sort of speaks back to the core of AFQY's values, which is around connecting good people and personalising business, because well, probably better put is that I like to have some social impact. Like to have some impact, and those are a couple of ways that we do it. On to the next question in our wrap up, which is always the big one. What is the coolest thing in tech according to Sarah? And it's not the highest trending thing in the internet or the most important thing at work at the moment, because we work in tech, but it could be a pen, who knows? What is it?
Yeah, I suppose so. I haven't come from a techie background, so it's something that I'm always inquisitive about, and understanding, okay, what is the business value of tech and how can it again have impact on businesses and people. So for me, one of the most phenomenal solutions that we're seeing is Power Apps, and I love Power Apps because I don't need to be a coder, I don't need to be techie. I can figure out how I can take data sources and link them to other data sources to create an app. And so right now, I'm just in the kind of throes of it, been trying to figure it out over the last week, is building a bit of an app for my busy life. So if you think about all my children and all the sports venues, and we've got Team app and this app and that app, all of these data sources, I'm having to jump into all of these different apps. So what I thought was, why don't I create a Bowden family app, which would be taking all of those sources of all of the emails that I get from the schools, from the sports clubs, and basically feeding them into one app, which will give me the ability to figure out what I'm doing on weeknights and the weekends. So Power Apps for me is would be the technology that I think is super exciting, because it's easy to use, it's simple, and it's connecting data sources together. The other thing I would say, which isn't a solution, it's a thing. And so coming from the UK, what I'm loving and what I'm seeing more and more in my role is these amazing companies, these startups, this entrepreneurial spirit that exists here. And I can't quite figure out why it exists here, and I think it's more to do with the Kiwi way of working and that business ethics. And I think the way I'm seeing so many startup companies here in New Zealand making solutions, creating new things that are relevant for our customers here in New Zealand, but also offshore, I would say it's the innovation, it's the tech innovation that I'm seeing in this environment and this ecosystem that's phenomenal, and that's something that really, really excites me as well.
Cool.
Really?
Well, thank you for coming and joining us in New Zealand.
Yeah, love it.
I always joke, you'll be the All Black coach next.
Yeah, why not? Bring it on.
So let's end with, what is your prediction for the Rugby World Cup, even if you're not a rugby fan?
Yeah, that's a hard one, because my husband always gives me grief because he's like,
you're
supporting. Yeah, no, it's the All Blacks. It's the All Blacks all the way. Absolutely. So go the All Blacks.
Go the All Blacks. All right. Well, we'll end it there, and we'll get back to it, because we've got to get ready for a trip to Singapore.
Yes.
And
Seattle trip for the team next week. Yeah, there's lots going on.
And growing all those partners. So thank you so much.
No, well, thank you, Ryan.
Ka kite anō. Yeah.
See ya. Bye.